R.E.M. Everybody Hurts. Okay, so let me play through all the different sections. Just a few of them here, pretty basic stuff. I'll just play right through everything, and afterwards I'll go back through and give you a little more of the details and walk you through it, let you know what I'm doing. Before we dive into all that, please help out the channel, hit that subscription button, be much appreciated. Alright, and no longer wait here, let's go into Everybody Hurts by R.E.M. Okay, so if nothing else, the song will be a great exercise in arpeggiation, getting these arpeggios locked in. And for the most part, we're going to be just bouncing between a D chord and a G chord. Okay, so for the intro, we would just go from a measure D to a measure G, do that twice. All right, and so what you want to do is just start at the open D, hit the 2 on the G, 3B, 2 high E, go back to 3B, and come right back to the 2 on the G. So we're just going down and back up. All right, and you essentially want to pick through that chord twice, just like that. Okay, and then we switch to a G chord, and with this G chord you want to add that 3 on the B with it that you see occasionally. And the way you pick this one, we hit the 3 bass note on the E, and then we're going to hit the D and then the G open, and then we come up to the 3 on the high E, 3 on the B, finish on the open G. Alright, and pretty much pick through that twice, just like that. Alright, so the intro section here, we would just jump through those 2 chords twice, just like that. Okay, and then the vocal starts, and this will officially kick off the verse. All right, and a special note, the first verse and the third verse are basically exactly the same. The way you play the second verse is the same too, it's just a certain part happens more. So for the first and third verse here, it looks just like the intro. We do that D arpeggiation to the G arpeggio, but we're going to repeat that whole thing 3 times. And the only thing that changes is at the very end, we do a normal measure, that D arpeggio, but when we get to the G, we just change up the ending a little bit. Okay, so that last couple of measures, all right, we would go through our D chord twice as usual. All right, and then we go through that G chord once like normal. But now we're going to kind of do this descending arpeggio here to lead us into the chorus section. Okay, so it'd be that 3 on the E, we do the open D, open G, but now we come down and we hit the 2 on the E, and then we do the open D, open G under that. Okay, it's just a little walk down thing that happens at the end of the verses. Okay, so it's going to lead us to an E chord that kicks off the chorus. Okay, so I'll just play the ending of the verse. Alright, get to the chorus section here. Like I said, it'll kick off with the E minor chord, but a special note with the chorus, the first and the second chorus played exactly the same. The third chorus, it's played the same, but this first E minor to A section happens 3 times instead of 2 times. Okay, it's just a little difference that happens there. So like I said, it'll kick off with the E minor chord. We can arpeggiate this too. So it'll be the open top E here, then we go 2 to 2 on the A and D. Alright, and then we jump up and we do the high E, open, open B, open G. Alright, go through that twice. Alright, and then we go to an A chord. So this will pick open A, 2D, 2G, come up and hit the open high E, then we do the 2B, 2G. Alright. And with that one, we don't do a full 2 arpeggios with that. Like we'll go through it once, all the way down and all the way back up. Alright, and then once we get through it halfway again, by hitting that high E, we're just going to come up and do a quick little walk down with that 3E to 2, just to get us back to that E minor. Alright, so we would repeat that E minor to A twice in the first and second chorus, and it'd be 3 times in that last third chorus. Alright, and after we get through however many times we need there, that final E minor to A, the only thing that changes is that once we get to that A at the end, we pick through it once entirely, but then once we come back to that A bass note for the second time around, we just hit it and then rest. Okay, so that last E minor to A would be something like this. Alright, and that's where that sometimes vocal comes in. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, just a little compositional note here. The second verse, that first D to G section that happens, you want to go through that 5 times. It's essentially like it's just tacking on that twice we do in the intro to the second verse. Alright, and then everything else stays the same with that. Alright, once we get to the bridge section, we can kick on some of that gain, a little distortion there, and it just gets more into just strumming single chords now. So it'll jump up to a F sharp here, so just that 2 on the E with the 4 on the A and D and the 3. You don't need to play the full chord. You can if you want, but I think it just sounds better, you know, kind of sticking with more of a power chord shape and a little extra there. Okay, so like I said, just a measure of that F sharp. Alright, and then we jump up to a B minor. Okay, 2 on the A, 4 on the D and G with the 3 on the B. 1 measure. Alright, you just strum them, let them ring the measure. Go between that F sharp and B minor 3 times, and then we'll jump up to a C. Okay, you play it this way with the 3 on the A and 5s on the D, G, B. Measure there. Okay, just single strum still. Jump up to that G, 3 on the E with the 5 on the A and D and the 4 on the G, one measure. Okay, back to the C, and we're going to hit that C just like we did, but just before the measure's out, we're going to hit that little B bass note just to walk us down to an A minor that happens. Okay, and then you hit that A minor to finish it. Open A, 2 on the D and G with the 1 on the B. Alright, and with that one, you can kind of cut it a count or two short, just like you would with the end of like the chorus. Okay, then we would get through our last verse and chorus there, and at the end it kind of picks up a little more, and you can get this, you know, a big chord with the gain on it again, right? And basically it's just following the normal pattern, the D to G, but we're just hitting like the single chords and letting them ring kind of big with that gain on them. Okay, so you would hit the G or the D, like just a normal D chord here, just hit it big, let it ring. Right, and just before that measures out, come up and hit that G chord, and with this you can strum it a little more. You can do like a pre-strum for the last measure there, and then hit it big to start the measure, and then once more at like the second count. So it'd be like, right, and just basically you just repeat that D to G like that all the way until the song fades out or you want to stop. It's up to you. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.